What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate episode. Today's debate episode, we're going to be talking about Kong versus Demon Zilla. This is going to be an interesting one, and here's the plan, folks. We're going to go over the backstories of these two giant creatures. Basically, we're going to fully analyze them, and once we're done with that, we're going to put them up against each other in a death battle. So without further ado, let's begin with the backstory of the main culprit, Demon Zilla. So let's do that. So Demon Zilla came into existence when the original Godzilla family line almost killed the entire Zilla race to extinction, leaving but one. This Zilla grew a grudge and became savage. All the negative energy that was around was sucked into its soul and became a new incarnate. This creature was no longer Zilla. It was a product of pure hate and destruction, with supernatural abilities, making it really from hell. This is Demon Zilla. Now, abilities, we're gonna do a quick skim, and then we're going to finish off Demon Zilla, and before we move on to Kong, I'll do a deep analysis of every single ability, so do not worry. But for now, let's do a quick skim. So abilities goes as follows: Voice Haunting, Bite of Hellhound, Grim Reaper Breath, Toxic Fume Tail Poison, Keys of Hades, and Maximum Agility. Territorial level is high, Aggression is maximum, Biome is Volcanoes, or, and you can say and/or, center of the earth, as in he can live in both volcanoes or the center of the earth. And the height is approximately of Demon Zilla 101 meters tall. So now let's go back to the abilities and let's do a deep analysis. So we have first Voice Haunting. Basically, this creature can actually figure out what sounds triggers, makes mad, or just scares the living hell out of a creature. For Godzilla, it could be another Godzilla getting hurt, or some type of creature that scares it. And I personally don't think there's a specific creature that scares Godzilla, as he is the alpha, but I'm sure that another sound of a specific different Godzilla from the family line getting hurt is going to cause some distress or trigger the creature. And that voice, and I'm just using Godzilla as an example because I kind of don't want to give anything away, because remember, he's gonna verse Kong in this debate, so I'm just giving examples of like another Godzilla, obviously. So that's just my hypothesis there. It could be like another Godzilla dying, and that sound can haunt them and kind of confuse them and throw them off the battle. And for Kong, it's gonna be something else, or it might be the same. We'll figure that out in the debate when we get there. But this is an example that if Demon Zilla was fighting Godzilla, that could be a great example. Next we have a Bite of Hellhound. Now we know that Hellhounds technically or usually have a very strong bite, so basically this is just a metaphor of the strength that Demon Zilla can bite. He actually has lava pouring out of his mouth, so when he bites his opponents, lava also gets secreted out of the teeth, which also basically cook up the flesh and cause a lot of damage. He has a very, very strong force of bite, so when he bites his opponents, especially in more dangerous areas of the body, it causes a lot of damage. Next we have the Grim Reaper Breath. So this creature is not only a living being, but it also has supernatural abilities because of the negative energy. So the Grim Reaper Breath actually consists of ingredients that basically cause pain to the soul. This ability causes pain to the opponent's soul, and it grieves, and it just has a hard time defending itself because of so much grief. So it's a very great tactic, especially in offensive mode for this opponent. Now, after that we have Toxic Fume Tail Poison, which basically is a type of poison that is secreted out of the tail onto his opponents. And not only is it toxic, it's very flammable, and combined with the bite marks, he usually tries to hit that poison in the place where he's bit his opponent, because the lava does discrete, so there is fire on the opponent, or enough heat to cause fire if something very flammable hits it. And so basically, it basically turns into a kind of an atomic breath when it touches the bitten parts of the body, and it's, as I said, it's toxic, so it causes a lot of damage. After that, we have Keys of Hades. Basically, this creature, which is known as Demon Zilla, has a very strong footprint, and he is basically strong enough to kick so hard, or we could say stomp so hard, that he can literally split a part of the earth to open up to the center of the earth. And he's able to step on his opponent so hard that they fall into the center of the earth. Or he can also drag his opponents into a volcano. But usually he tries to stop one of his opponents, therefore the ability is called the Keys of Hades. And finally, this is more of a lizard creature. Lizards are known to be fast. He is full of radiation, giant, and full of power, giant muscles. Therefore, he has maximum agility. He's kind of like Kong. He could jump around, run everywhere. He's very agile. Maximum agility. Alright, folks. This is going to sum up Demon Zilla. Let's move on to the King of Skull Island. Or should we call him Kong? So, Kong, or known as the King of Skull Island, is a giant super species of ape that has grown to immense size. From Kong's Skull Island, where Kong was only an infant, he has fully grown now, making himself equal to the legendary Godzilla. Having super intelligent abilities and massive strength makes him a super threat to any Titan. Now, quick skim of every ability. We have unmatched agility, super intelligence, able to jump anywhere, super fast, death punch, Godzilla dorsal plate axe. Territorial level is maximum, aggression level is maximum. Biome is Earth, and height is 102 meters tall, only 1 meter taller than Demon Zilla. But anything is an advantage in a fight, isn't it? Okay, let's go back to the abilities, let's do a deep analysis. So first we have unmatched agility. I've said this before and I'll say it again, in terms of the legendary lineup, or the legendary roster of kaijus, including Godzilla, obviously, a legendary Godzilla specifically speaking, Kong is the most agile creature. Apes, monkeys, gorillas, whatever you want to call them, they are quick and they are fast. Specifically gorillas, right? And this creature is basically a giant gorilla with massive muscles in the thighs, in the calves, big quad muscles, big biceps, pumping it forward. He can run fast, and he's very agile. Very, very good stamina. He has unmatched agility. Okay, next we have super intelligence. He is a monkey, he is an ape. Also, he was able to communicate with humans through sign language in Godzilla vs. Kong. So that is to say that he has super intelligence compared to any other Titan. After that, we have the ability to jump anywhere. Yes, he can jump from building to building, from tree to tree, from mountain to mountain, whatever you want, he can do. Though it's a very good offensive and defensive ability. Offensive, where he wants to ambush his opponent. Defensive, he wants to get away quickly, right? Next, we have super fast. As I said, it kind of ties into the unmatched agility. He can run and punch and attack fast, very fast. And then we have death punch. Kong has huge biceps, and he can uppercut and he can punch. With those huge amount of muscles, if he gets a good uppercut and a good attack on his opponents, he can potentially kill his opponents of how strong his muscles really are. So that's a very big ability. Okay. After that, we have the final one, which is called the Godzilla dorsal plate. This is coming from the ancient Kongs who killed the other Godzillas. They were able to get the dorsal plate and make it into an axe. Now, the cool thing about this axe is it can be used to take in the atomic breath of Godzilla and deflect it onto him and blow up in his face. It's so powerful. It's like a collecting mirror. That's a great way I would explain it. But the only bad thing is it's coming from legendary Godzilla, so the ability to deflect and basically deflect the atomic breath and or basically hit him with his own atomic breath can only be used to legendary Godzilla because a dorsal plate is only from legendary Godzilla. Any other creature or any other Godzilla, this will not be able to be used. He can only stab the opponents, can't use the actual function. So that is a bit unfortunate for Kong. Okay, folks. This is going to completely sum up both kaijus. We have just finished the deep analysis. Now let's go where we've all been waiting for, the death battle. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be best out of 2. If we do go to overtime, I'll explain that once we get there. But for now, we're not going to go there. We're going to talk about best out of 2, close range, and far range. Now, why do I do this? Why specifically? Far range is to test out the opponent's abilities if they're limited. We limit some abilities because some opponents can't use all their abilities in far range, and we see if they could still survive and win a battle. It's a great way to test them. It's one of the most strategic ways to test them out, right? And after that, we have the close range, and the close range is just all-out battle. Good. So let's go ahead and begin with far range. Now let's talk about the rules of far range and what they need to comply with in order to work. So it's 700 meters apart. They cannot, I repeat, cannot come closer than 700 meters. So we're going to see what abilities these kaijus can or cannot use in terms of far range. So let's go to Kong. Kong, unmatched agility, has nothing to do with distance. Super intelligence, again, has nothing to do with distance. Able to jump anywhere as long as he's not physically touching the opponent. He can jump anywhere. Super fast, does not matter. Death Punch, obviously the answer is going to be a big, fat no. Godzilla Dorsal Plate Axe is also not going to be able to be used because he can throw it, but he can't use the actual ability because this is Zilla, even Demon Zilla, we should say. It's not the legendary Godzilla, so he can't actually use it. Okay, so basically the only ability he can use in this instance is the Godzilla Dorsal Plate Axe in a one-time throw. So he's a bit underprivileged in this battle, we should say. Or we could say that. Okay, now let's go, or we should move on to Zilla. Or Demon Zilla. We could also call him that, which he is that. So, Demon Zilla, we're going to see what abilities he can or cannot use. So, first we have Voice Haunting. Voice Haunting has nothing to do with how far he is. So, the Voice Haunting actually can be used. Bite of Hellhound cannot be used because it has to do with physical touch. Grim Reaper Breath can be used. Well, actually, I'm gonna say it cannot be used because it is a bit finicky when it comes to far distance. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we're gonna say he cannot use the Grim Reaper Breath. Okay. Yeah, we cannot use the Grim Reaper Breath. Next, we have the Toxic Fume. The Toxic Fume, which is a tail poison, can be used. He can flick it, so that is okay. That will work. The Keys of Hades will not work because that requires physical touch. Maximum Agility, also, well, that's, again, it doesn't really matter, so it's one of those that are like, okay, his size or the area where they are doesn't really matter, so whatever. Okay, so in a far-range battle, at this point, Kong is completely defenseless. He has no ability to defend himself. It's not like he has an atomic breath or a sort of ability where he can use outside of his body. Kong is an ape, and that's what, and we're trying to be fair here, it's a great way to limit them out and to try them out. And just specifically, Kong is not good in terms of far range. He lacks that, and that's a fair way to test these opponents out. So Zilla, or we should say Demon Zilla, can easily use the voice haunting and is going to definitely cause some distress in Kong, because it's obviously going to be a family member of the Kong line suffering, or something that scares Kong. He's not as alpha as Godzilla. Kong is an alpha, but not as alphaic, if that's even a word, as Godzilla. So he's gonna have some fears in his body, right? Whether he likes it or not. And at that rate, the voice haunting is going to cause a lot of damage. And that's going to cause some distress. Not only that, the toxic fume is well enough to kill Kong in any sort of way. And Kong really has no way of defending himself, assuming he uses the axe. The axe is going to damage some part of Demon Zilla, but it's not coming back. It is not going to come back, as I've said. So it might cause some damage the first time, but it's not a boomerang, and he cannot use deflective abilities. So because of the tail poison, Demon Zilla is indeed going to kill Kong in far range as much as it hurts. So 1-0 in terms of far range for Demon Zilla. So now let's go to close range, where it's a whole new ball game. Let's do that. That's going to be an interesting one. So for far range, or I should say close range, because we just finished that, there's no limits. It's face to face, and they are going to be killing each other. Well, let's take this into consideration. Kong is 102 meters, while Demon Zilla is 101 meters. So they're about the same. Maybe we're looking at a 5-inch reach advantage to Kong in terms of punching, especially the death punch. Physically, as an upper body, Kong is going to be the superior one. Lower body, it's going to be Demon Zilla, because we know that he has the keys of Hades, and he also has the bite of Hound, and which that is an upper body strength, but we're talking about just in general the mouth and everything in terms of bite. He's gonna take that. So physically, they are going to fight each other, and we know giant kaijus like to hit each other and ram into each other. And when they do ram into each other, without a single inch of doubt, I believe Kong will be the one to take Demon Zilla to the ground first. I won't even try to debate that. I think Kong has the upper body strength to really push Demon Zilla down, and is gonna start pounding his face in. With the death punch, he has the potential of breaking the jaws of Demon Zilla. Now, kind of going back to an ability that Kong can use is to break jaws of opponents. I don't think he has the strength to break the jaws of Demon Zilla. The Demon Zilla definitely is not a T-Rex or anything, or a Gorosaurus or anything like that, so it's definitely going to cause some issues there. Demon Zilla's mouth is way too strong, or his jaws are way too strong, so that's not even going to happen. But he can definitely pound him in and keep on punching him very, very strong. But this is where the twist comes, where Demon Zilla can resort to the voice haunting, and that's really going to cause some stress to Kong. And with that, he can obviously think about this. So Kong is on top of, we're at this point where Kong is on top of Demon Zilla, pounding his face in with his punches, or his death punch, and causing a lot of damage as well. Demon Zilla uses the voice haunting ability to kind of put some stress into Kong, and he's gonna stop punching. So he's on him, the tail is behind Kong. So what's gonna happen is Demon Zilla can actually use the toxic fume tail poison from the back of Kong to cause a lot of damage. And he can also bite that same point. Let's say he's on the shoulder. It's gonna be the shoulder, the left or right shoulder. And with that toxic fume on the shoulder, Demon Zilla is now able to push Kong off, bite that area, And there you go, a giant flame has now ignited and Kong is on fire. And we've seen what happens to Kong when bullets and fire hits him. He has flesh and his body burns. And that is not what we want. And so because of that, I feel like Demon Zilla will take him down, and with the keys of Hades, he will push him down to the pit of hell. Demon Zilla will be the winner, 2-0. Obviously, this is just my opinion. You could debate me in the comment section below. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great and wonderful day.